Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Erin, aka Faye Fire, and I'm here today with you all to just go over a couple of things, get caught up, kind of get the wheels turning. I've got a lot of stuff coming up on the channel between a few different projects, so we're going to talk about those things today. So I just kind of needed to get the ball rolling, get flowing with you guys, and just get on here and get back to it. So today I just kind of wanted to discuss my upcoming projects, which are going to be the Pendragon cycle, the new Dunk and Egg series, The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and we've just today we're announced the new movie called The Dreadful, which I've talked about a few times here on the channel, and I'm very excited to cover and do some videos on. That's a new movie that's coming out, and they just dropped the trailer earlier today. So that's kind of going to be our main focus of the stream, and kind of talk about some of the details that we are expecting from this movie and take a look at a couple of photos from the trailer. And if you guys haven't gotten a chance to take a look at the trailer yet, definitely go check that out. It's from Lionsgate Film and Lionsgate Films, whatever, So take a look and then come back onto the stream. We're going to talk about it. And I'm really excited. This movie is starring Sophie Turner and Kit Harington, aka Sansa Stark and Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. So it's pretty exciting to see this. It's also got Marcia Gay Harden in the film, and this is let's just jump into it. So let's jump into it. So this is a new film. It's going to be released on February 20th. Very excited. It is coming to limited theaters and on digital. So I'm not sure exactly which platform it'll be streaming on quite yet, but I am looking forward to seeing that. Maybe we can find out. Let's take a look. Hold on. Where will The Dreadful be streaming? Well, this is not a very tight answer. It says expected on platforms like Apple, Amazon, or Shudder after its initial release, distributed by Lionsgate. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. That doesn't seem like a very concrete answer, so we'll figure it out. But it is going to be a really interesting movie. It's kind of like a gothic horror vibes. And it is loosely based on an older film, which is called Onibaba, which is a Japanese film. I want to say from the 60s. It's black and white. And it is about two women. It's a mother-in-law and a daughter who are basically trying to survive through harsh times during a war. And so in Onibaba, I'm not sure if it's like World War II that they're dealing with or what have you, but basically these two women, I'll describe Onibaba and then we'll kind of, describe how the Dreadful is kind of loosely based on that. So Onibaba is this mother-in-law and her daughter-in-law, and they are trying to survive together. They live out in like these reeds, like in the flats or what have you, kind of a near the ocean flooding area, but they're very hidden. They kind of live in the wilderness, and they'll have soldiers that come through that are like escaping the war and that kind of thing. So they'll come through their area, and then what they do, these two women, is they actually prey upon these men, and so they'll attack them, or they're usually weakened or hungry or injured and that kind of thing. So they'll basically prey on these men, take their stuff and use it to survive, whether that means, selling things or, taking whatever food or whatever these guys have. So, and then they end up encountering this injured guy, and I believe the daughter wants to like help him or fix him. And then it kind of develops into, it turns out that the son, so the woman's husband, the older woman's son, he dies in the war. And so then as they're trying to like nurse this other guy back to health, the daughter and the guy, they start to kind of have a little bit of a romance thing going on. And the mother-in-law gets very possessive, and it just turns into a sort of horror show. There's a mask that is involved in this that is like kind of a cursed mask that the mother would wear when she would attack these men. And so then that comes into play. And so yeah, so it's a pretty interesting movie. And then in the end, it's kind of, just turns into a horror show nightmare. So, so that's kind of what Onibaba was. And that's an older movie, pretty infamous. And so The Dreadful, since its like inception, was described as being inspired by or loosely based on Onibaba. However, it takes place during the War of the Roses, so in England. So it's a completely different environment, but sort of a similar storyline. So, so before we get into that, let me just get caught up in the chat because I see I've got a few people here watching live. So if you are watching live, go ahead, say hello, drop a hello in the chat. I see Wild Marjoram is here. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you everyone else who is here watching live. And again, I'm just trying to get the ball rolling, get some grease the skids, as Crystal would say. Just so that I can I've got a lot of content coming up. And so I just kind of needed to get back into the swing of things. So I just wanted to jump on here with you guys for a little bit and just kind of get going and say hello and wish everyone a happy 2026 so far, because we are coming in hot. So, so thank you for being here. We've got Lancelot. Hello, Sir Lancelot. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you. So, breakfast at Tiffany's. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but maybe. For Crystal the Pistol. What up, Crystal Kristen? Okay, anyways, for our Yellow Jackets fans around here. So that was kind of the description of Onibaba, which is the inspiration for The Dreadful. Now, as I was saying, The Dreadful takes place during the War of the Roses, and here we have the main character played by Sophie Turner, her name is Anne, and then her mother-in-law, played by Marcia Gay Harden, is Morwen. And so they exist on the outskirts of society when someone from their past re-enters their life. And so what happens is these two women, they're bonded because Morwen's son has gone off to war, and this is Anne's husband. Okay. And we see this in the trailer. I'm going to pull up a photo actually while we talk about this. And so, I'm not going to show the trailer because I'll probably get like demonetized or something like that. So I'm just I have a couple of shots here, so I'll bring those up. So sorry. So Anne's husband is off at war. She's living with her mother-in-law. And, we see that the mother-in-law seems to be very like religious, or sort of maybe not religious, but just kind of she holds religious values, but she seems a little zealous, I guess we might say. And they're just trying to survive. And obviously they're both relying on the husband returning. And it appears that Morwen, she's not married, so she's probably very dependent upon her son as the man of the house, as well as Anne. So it was kind of the duty of men at this point in time. This would be 15th century England. It would be the duty of the man of the house to care for these two women. And then, of course, for them as the women to rely upon each other. And there is sort of a biblical duty interwoven into that, which would be like a common, cultural expectation at that point in time, where the mother-in-law would expect for her son to care for her, but if something happens to the son, it would fall to the daughter to care for the mother-in-law, and basically just see her to the end of her days. She's an older woman, so but she seems pretty as I said, a little zealous, a little enthusiastic about that positioning. And so she seems pretty possessive over Anne, and maintaining this family dynamic, I guess we might say. So in the trailer, we find that Anne encounters a man from their past. His name is Yago, and she sees him on the beach in the trailer. And Yago he's returned from the war. And so Anne says to him, "Oh, is the war over?" And Yago says, "It is for me." And Anne says, "Where's my husband?" And Yago explains to her that her husband had been killed in battle. He was fighting. We see a kind of shot of that, of him being attacked, presumably her husband being attacked and killed by some other men. And her husband looks to be like a pretty strong, capable individual. So we'll see if there's like some subterfuge or something like that going on, because Yago does seem very interested in Anne, and he seems, pretty keen on her. So, again, this is Sophie Turner and Kit Harington. So pretty excited to see how this goes. Let me go ahead. We'll pull up. Whoops. That's not how we do that. I'm rusty, guys. I'm rusty. See, this is why I needed to get on here with you. Because I can't remember how to do anything. So, all right. So here is Yago. And so he's returned from the war and he sees Anne and he seems pretty interested in her. Now, on the flip side, Anne and her her mother-in-law, they seem to be her mother-in-law seems to be like murdering people. So they go to see some lady who looks like she's pregnant. So I'm not sure if the mother happens to be a midwife or something like that, but they go and see this fine lady. And then the mother, she ends up like stealing the lady's brooch. And she's basically explaining to Anne while they're walking back, she's like, well, she's rich. She won't miss it. We need it, kind of thing. Well, we see again later in the trailer that some sort of bishop comes to see Anne and Morwen at their house. And he says that he's just returned from his travels and this is the first place he's been to since he's returned. And then we see Morwen come from behind and cut his throat. And he had some like fine gifts or things that he was bringing back from his travels. And so presumably Morwen kills him so that she can claim those items and sell them to make some money and that kind of thing. So we've kind of got some, she's got some bad habits, but she's also out there trying to survive while her son is away. She's probably doing it to take care of both of them. So then they're kind of bonded over this bad behavior and Morwen murdering people. And so Anne feels obligated to keep these secrets and not move on. And so she's kind of bound to her through these crimes, right? So Yago comes back. He and Anne seem like they may be starting to get closer. Morwen, mind you, in the background, she's like, hey, don't get involved with this guy. You've got to keep yourself chaste. We've got to take care of each other. We have to look out for each other. And Anne is kind of like questioning things because Morwen's becoming kind of extreme in her habits. So, and Yago, on the other hand, we've got this voiceover coming where he's like, she's just trying to scare you. We need to get away from her. And Anne is seemingly suffering because she says, I'm hungry all the time for the things that have been taken from me or something of that nature. And we see her seemingly looking like she's taking care of that fine lady who was pregnant. So I'm going to assume that they're midwives or they're in midwifery and that kind of thing. But Anne is feeling the pressure because her husband's been killed and now she's trapped with her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law wants to keep her there and doesn't want to allow her to, be a woman and have a family or have children, which she presumably is interested in doing. So that's kind of my take from what we were shown in the trailer. And things escalate. Obviously, Anne and Yago are having their love affair going on. They're trying to keep that a secret from Morwen, and Morwen is like just crashing out hard over her daughter-in-law, like moving on with her life. So it looks pretty interesting and pretty intense, and I am very excited to see it all play out on screen. And I've been waiting for this movie for a couple of years. They've been talking about it. So with the parallel to Onibaba, yeah, I'm very excited to see this. So, all right. So let me go ahead and check in with the chat with you guys, and also I'll pull up another photo here just so we can see these. Okay. So we've got, I'm not this actually, now looking at this picture, I'm wondering, I'm going to pull this up on here so I can take a closer look. I'm wondering if that might not be Morwen holding the sword to Iago and not, I assumed that it was Anne, but Sophie Turner has such a slender neck that I kind of wonder if that might not be her right there. You know what I'm saying? Not that this person has a fat neck. I'm just saying that like Sophie Turner is like a very slender, delicate woman. So I'm wondering if this might be Morwen actually holding the sword to Iago. And I got these photos like a long time ago. They were leaked like a year ago, and I had shared them on Twitter, and like the producer of the movie emailed me and he's like, can you take those down? So I've been sitting on these photos for like a very long time. So I'm excited to share them. And so, yeah, we can see here we've got Anne and Iago, and they're in bed together, and they have an affair going on. So it's, I don't know. I'm just really excited. I think it's going to be a really interesting movie. I think it's going to be a good one to see. And of course, Kit Harington and Sophie Turner, like getting to see them together again is really exciting. After Game of Thrones, it's been many years, 2018 that it ended. So it'll be nice to see them on stage together. And they've been having a lot of fun with like, their press commentary about this, and them having to like, have these romantic encounters and kissing scenes and that kind of thing. And they're both just like, ew, ew, ew. So, whatever. Kit Harington, he is married to Rose Leslie, aka Egret. So and Sophie Turner, she is awesome and amazing. And actually, I just saw also she just released another photo because she's going to be playing Lara Croft in an upcoming Tomb Raider series or movie. And she looks fantastic in that too. So she's got a lot going on. So, all right. So let me get caught up in the chat here and see what you guys are saying. All right. So yeah, greasing the skids. I had to get back into it. It's been a little while, and I've been I haven't done any live streams or videos in a minute, so I needed to get back on and just kind of get the ball rolling with you. And I missed you guys. I would not want to have to take care of my stepmother or mother-in-law. She's rather awful. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Let's see. Yes, we did. We had some family in town, and we've been eating a lot of food and, having a nice break. So, all right. Watched a current Yellow Jackets video. Well, whatever. What, they're catching up? No. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Good for them. Good for them. I'm glad. We need people to recognize the Greek mythology, and I would appreciate Yellow Jackets bringing some of that back for the final season. Season 3, I'm sorry. Like, the more time that goes by, I just was not the biggest fan of season 3, and I don't feel like that is like where we started is very much different than where we are at currently in the Yellow Jackets storyline. And I don't know how I feel about it, but not amazing. Okay. All right. We've got Peter Griffin here. Hello. Thanks for being here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of this or I've seen a couple of her videos. All right. I will take a look. I'll see what she has to say. I haven't seen any Yellow Jackets videos in a minute. So maybe that'll bring me back around. I love to see more and more people doing content for Yellow Jackets. Hey, I'm happy for it. I like to watch videos too. So that's kind of one of the hard things about being a content creator is sometimes I'm like, I want to watch some videos on, this show or that show. And either nobody's making content on it, or I'm like, well, I guess I have to make the content that I want to watch. And that's kind of one of my mantras actually is, be the content that you want to watch is kind of like words that I live by. But sometimes I just want to watch videos. So I don't want to have to make them too. But yeah. So yeah. And I know there's another channel called like K Fung, and she does some great Yellow Jackets videos. But yeah, anyone that is doing that stuff. Oh, 3 Yellow Jackets theories. Well, drop them in here if you want. You don't have to, you don't have to share your secrets, but if you want to drop them in the chat, and we can discuss it. Okay, so yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. So the Dreadful is coming out February 20th, and it should be it said limited theaters and on streaming. So I will be figuring out where it's streaming at, and I will be covering it because I am very much looking forward to this movie. I think it's going to be really fun, really different, and just kind of right up my alley, like the kind of gothic horror 15th century, English history and that kind of thing. This is all like, this is very much right up my alley. So I'm excited to see it. So yeah. So that's that with the Dreadful. And if there's any other news, I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. All right. So briefly, I just want to talk about the Pendragon cycle. I can't say much because right now I'm under like an embargo or whatever because I'm on their like screener list. So I've seen the first 2 episodes of the Pendragon cycle, and it is available for Daily Wire All Access members. If you have that subscription, then you will have access to watching these episodes. They released on December 25th. And so, or 22nd, somewhere in there. Anyhow, they're already released if you have all access. I do not have all access because they only sell it in a yearly subscription and it's like $250. And it's not in the budget right now. So, but I do have screeners. So I've seen the first 2 episodes and I very much enjoyed them. I cannot say too much, but I do have content coming. I am working on a couple of things. I've done some episode reviews, although it's pretty long. So I'm like, I don't even know if I can. It's like 2 minutes or 2 hours pre-editing. So I'm like little nervous to get that all together, but I'm also working on some mythology stuff that was in the episode and in the book. And so I am probably going to release that, which should be shorter form. I'm trying to kind of figure out how I want to release it. I'm like, do I want to do like 1 video per myth? Or do I want to just do like, here's basically like the main myths that were referenced in the episode, and kind of break it down that way, because the myths kind of create the framework for the story itself. And so we have like these old Welsh myths from like the Mabinogion, and they create the framework for the characters in the story. So the characters are sort of playing out these ancient myths in a sense, but then tying it all together with Arthurian lore and Welsh mythology and, these specific characters and what their roles were at that point in time, or at, just in history, like as we know them. So it's like, there's just so much information. I just am excited to share it all with you. And I'm like, when I am trying to edit my episode recaps, I'm like, is this just too much? Is it just way over the top? So I don't know. But I will say they did an excellent job on the Pendragon cycle. It was definitely worth the wait, and I have been waiting for a few years now. Yeah, I'm like, I think it was 2023 I put out my first Pendragon video, and now we're in 2026. So so it's been a few years, but that's okay. It's worth the wait. It's really great. And you guys know that I love Arthurian based shows and that kind of thing, and that's kind of like the main thing I cover here on the channel. And I'm going to be totally honest, this was like the best Arthurian adaptation that I've seen since I've started my channel. And I covered Cursed, I covered The Winter King, I covered the Green Knight, and the Green Knight is kind of apart because that's a movie, so it's a little bit different. And then of course, in like House of the Dragon, and even, just all the different shows that I cover, there's so much that like storytellers pull so much from Arthurian legend. And so, while it doesn't always hit on screen when Arthurian adaptations are made, I can find like a lot of those roots that are in there in many things that we talk about. And so I don't know, as far as like Cursed or The Winter King, especially, like I covered all of The Winter King and I took my videos down because I was so like, I was so displeased with the result of what they did with that series that I could not even create the final, like a final video for the final episode, because I was just so disappointed that I took all my videos down except for like one or two on The Winter King, because I was just like, F this. I don't like this. I don't like what they did. They did a crap job, and I don't want to be a part of this. So I'm not putting my name on this. So I took my videos down except for a couple of them, because the first few episodes of that series were not bad, but the second half of the series was just bollocks. So I couldn't handle it. But yeah, Pendragon, beautiful. And honestly, what I would draw, there's like definitely like, it reminds me a lot of The Hobbit in a sense, or even Lord of the Rings in its cinematography. And I can't quite explain what it is, but it's got an old feel, like older Arthurian legend, like Excalibur or, something like that. It's just got an older feel to it, and I like that a lot. And it's beautiful cinematography, beautiful wide shots in very beautiful locations. They did the filming in Hungary and Italy, and it just, beautiful scenery. Just, it's fantastic. I really enjoyed it a lot. So I can't say too much. But I will have some videos out about this next week. And also, I'm probably going to do some more live streams. I've got so much going on. I honestly can't even, I need like an assistant to help me like figure this out. Where's Mandy? Although I don't know if she's the best at helping me organize my thoughts. I think you guys know. So yeah, let's see. Oh, okay. So Peter Griffin says he hasn't seen Pendragon, but I'm the first with a positive review of it. Yeah, I hope that other people have good takes on it. I know, okay, it is from the Daily Wire, and people, are going to have opinions on that. Even I have opinions on that, okay? But I'm trying to just shut out and just be like, hey, this is just for the series, okay? Like this is for Arthur, okay? Dux Britanniarum. Okay, I'm just trying to, and I'm sure I'm going to get some commentary and people saying, XYZ about that, but we're going to just take it as it comes. The entire series is not out. It will be coming out. So the first 2 episodes will be coming out on the Daily Wire on January 22nd. But they are available now for people with all access membership on their site. And then they will be releasing new episodes each week, and it's a 7-episode series, so it'll be a 5 weeks, 6 weeks after that. So, but yeah, and I'll probably be doing live streams once a week in the next couple months, just trying to keep up with it all. I've got a lot going on. I've a lot coming up for, shows I'm covering and things to cover. So we'll be covering Pendragon. We've also got Dunk and Egg coming out really soon, and that's really exciting. And then The Dreadful is next month. That's February 20th. So that'll give us a little time. Probably right around the time Pendragon ends, then The Dreadful will come out. So it'll be a good transition into that. But I am going to be busy trying to keep up with all of this stuff for you guys. I am excited. I'm really excited because you know what? 2026 is going to be an excellent year. 2025 was a little rough. I don't know about you guys. It was a little rough for me. But so I had to take a little break to kind of recalibrate myself and get into the headspace to where I'm prepared for this. And now everything is hitting all at once. So whether I'm prepared or not, we're doing it. So yeah. So I will next week have some new content out for you guys. So, all right. Where is Mandy? I don't know. She's around. She's doing stuff. She's here. She's there. She's everywhere. Okay. And the new Fallout series. I haven't even watched the second season. I know it came out like in December. I haven't even watched it. I have been, you know what, guys? I'm going to be honest with you. I've been checked out. I have not been watching very much. I haven't been really interested in making much content at all. Like I've tried to kind of get some stuff together and I just have not been, it's not what I want to put out. And so I just have been like, you know what? I'll wait until it's the right thing. And I think you guys can appreciate that. But yeah, I didn't end up covering. I tried covering Fallout when season 1 came out and literally no one watched my videos. I got like 200 views on my video. So I took it down because I was just like, that's bad. That's really bad. I think it's still up on Rumble if you guys want to go see it. So Fallout and Spartacus. I have not heard of Spartacus. I did watch tell me if you guys watched The Chair Company. Did you guys watch that one? I loved it. It was so freaking good. My husband and I were addicted to it. We were glued. Like every Sunday, we're watching it. It's on. It's time for Chair Company. So crazy. Such a crazy show. Yes, Peter Griffin. I figured you would have liked it. Yeah, it is fantastic. It's what's his name? Tom. Why do I want to say Tom Anderson? That's from Beavis and Butthead. Tom. Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson. No, Tim. Who are you? Robinson. Okay. Very close. Tom Anderson, Tim Robinson. We're the same. Okay. Tim Robinson. Fantastic. So funny. The Chair Company is on HBO. I highly recommend it. It's probably the best show that I watched in 2025. So strange, so weird, and yes, very dry and very intriguing, and just like it's just like cringe, like cringe TV or something. I don't even know. It just makes you like uncomfortable, but it's intriguing and you just can't stop watching. And there's like a mystery. It's like kind of a mystery box show where you're like, what? And things just keep getting stranger and stranger. And then by the end of, the final episode of the season, completely throws you for an entire loop because it's just out of the blue, out of nowhere. Yes, the guy yes, Peter, the guy jumping out of his closet, that little guy, and then he like comes into his garage and starts like, tossing it up. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Yeah, the guy with the sleeve, putting the sleeve in the soup, and he's like, hey, this guy doesn't want me to put my sleeve in the soup. What an asshole. Like, it's so funny. And then baby the dog, baby's home. Like, what? Yes, Exactly. That is the vibe that it gives. While Marjoram says like the curse. Yes, it's very much in that like realm. Yeah, it's very strange. And then the final episode, I don't want to give it away. I can't even give it away because the final episode is just so out of left field. You're like, this, it doesn't even feel like it's the same show. It's so crazy, but it's so good. If they don't give it a second season, I don't even know what to say. There's got to be more to it. It's just so good. We've been on like a Tim Robinson kick in my house. He also did what's that movie he did with Paul Rudd? Friendship, I want to say. That one's really funny, kind of a same vibe. And then my husband's been watching a couple other shows that he has on Netflix. And yeah, he is too funny. He's like one of those guys where their face just makes you laugh looking at him. You're like, oh my God, I love people like that. Yeah, you've got to see it. It's fantastic. It's very funny. So yeah, that's probably the best show I saw in 2025. I even have a little bit of a theory. I was considering making a video on it. My husband actually really wants me to make a video on it. So that might be I don't know if I like missed the window there for that though. So we'll see. I was just enjoying it so much. Like every week I was sat for the new episode. Yeah. It was just funny. Yeah. So, all right. So that's kind of okay. And then, we've got Dunk and Egg coming up. That's kind of the last thing I just wanted to shout out there. So, just getting ready for some Dunk and Egg. Shout out to Mrs. Duncan the Tall, one of my besties. Here, let's pull up a photo just for her. A Dunk photo. Let's see. I'm really excited. They've got some great new photos coming out for the series, and the trailer looked fantastic. I really liked the newest trailer. The way that they do like those transition shots, they show like Dunk charging in the Battle of Seven, and then it like goes through his visor in this like really awesome transition shot. So I'm very excited to see how it's going to look. I think it's going to be so much different than, what we're used to in the Game of Thrones world, the A Song of Ice and Fire world, and House of the Dragon. I think it's just going to be a lot more fun and lighthearted. And I think we can all appreciate that for, as much drama as we enjoy for the rest of this world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I'm very excited to see. I love Egg, the little guy playing Egg. He's adorable. I love hearing his little voice, and I can't wait to see him just kind of talking some crap to Dunk. I've been rereading The Hedge Knight. So I have a few pages left on that, just so I'm refreshed on all of that. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. That comes out this Sunday. So we're going to have some Dunk and Egg action this weekend. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Just a couple more days. Oh my gosh. How is it January 15th? What is happening? All right. So yeah, so that's kind of okay. Was he really knighted? That's a good question. That's a really good question. I'm going to trust that he was. It's like, I think there's so much more to Sir Arlen than we really know. Especially here, I'll pull up this great photo that they released of him. It's like, and this is all going to tie back to Arthurian legend, right? And that's what I'm excited to cover this show about. Like, I feel like I've been studying for this month of my life for like 10 years, like just some of you might know this if you're watching this, but I went through a period of time during COVID where I strictly only read Arthurian legend for like 2 years. I was just only reading different Arthurian myths, different stories, and even like the Mabinogion and like ancient source material and that kind of thing. I was just like in the zone. I was like, I don't know. So I was fully committed to that. I only read Arthurian for like a couple of years. So we've got characters like Sir Arlen with his chalice knight shield, and that all connecting back to like Holy Grail symbolism. And then Dunk being like his little protege. Well, if Sir Arlen happens to be like the Grail Knight, like, did he pass that on to Dunk? Was his knighting something more significant than just simply being a knight of the Seven Kingdoms? Like, and then he becomes, well, anyways, I don't want to spoil it if you guys, yeah. But anyways, but that's my obscure fascination of, a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, is like, what's up with Sir Arlen and his chalice shield? Like, what's going on there? And it's like questions that we don't have the answers for, but of course we have hints to it all over the place. So, and Dunk himself being like this pure knight, and that's part of like the Grail Knight, or even having access to the Grail, or seeing it, or like, because the Grail is so pure, it's an object of gods, that it only appears to somebody who is so pure and perfect and chaste, and like, this perfect pure vessel, to be the Grail Knight, to be approved for that, that duty. And we know that Dunk, thick as a castle wall, he's a lunk, he's just so innocent, and like, he's just got that innocence to him. And so, him being Sir Arlen's adopted like child squire, I don't know, there's just something there. So, and I'm really looking forward to like digging into it a little bit more and learning more as we watch this series progress. I'm pretty excited. So, yeah, and it'll just be a nice change of pace. But Sir Arlen, the Grail Knight, it's there. I'm pretty excited. So, let me know your guys' thoughts. I know Mrs. Duncan the Tall, she's here with me. In fact, I think she's got better insight on it than me, because I drug her through the trenches and made her participate in my 2 years of nonsense of only reading Arthurian myth. I drug her into that. I was like, come on, we're reading the Winter King series. We're reading the Pendragon cycle. We read, she was there with me. So, so shout out to Mrs. Duncan the Tall. She is a learned acolyte, I don't know, whatever. She's a learned wife of Sir Duncan the Tall. She's a god's wife, I don't know. So I have not watched Pluribus. I've heard of it, and I heard it was really good. A lot of people were talking about it. They really seem to like it. I have not yet checked it out. And Servant, yeah, let's see, you watched Pluribus, you watch a show, Faye, and I watched called Servant on Apple. Yes, Apple, Servant, so good. Loved that. Covered that show here on the channel a couple of years ago. I actually have been like craving a Servant rewatch, because that show is incredible. Produced by M. Night Shyamalan, and so good. Honestly, Servant is probably like one of the best shows ever made, in my opinion. It's start to finish. It's got a full story arc. It wasn't cut off early. It did exactly what it was meant to do. Dude, the show is so good. It's so strange, and it's so good. I love Servant. It's so good. One of the best shows I've covered, straight up. All right, let's see. Pluribus and The Artist. I have not heard of The Artist. Okay. 5-hour discussions about a 40-minute show as usual. Is there any other way to do it? Yeah, that was me. I'm like, why is it that I can talk more about the show than even like the show like puts out? Like, yeah, exactly. But that's the mythology of it. That's why I love mythology. And, that's how you can dig into these much deeper. And then you get to like see what the writers were really trying to like tap into with certain ideas. So that's one. And, Pendragon does a fantastic job of that. And that's why I have like a whole bunch of myths that I already like vaguely know, but now I'm having to like kind of scrounge it up and get these stories put together and like figure out how I'm going to put this out for you guys. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yes. Lauren Ambrose was in Servant. Oh, Van, we miss you. I know. I think we were the only ones to watch Servant. You know what? I know. I mean, it's kind of obscure and not too many people watched it, but if you are watching this stream, highly recommend watching Servant. It's so good. It was a fantastic show. All right. Well, guys, I think that's about it. I just kind of wanted to hop on here for a few minutes and get caught up with you and let you know what's going on and just kind of, I don't know, touch base. I missed you guys. I missed ya. So, yeah, we've got, oh, I love Plebes. You know I love Plebes, Wild Marjoram. The network has Plebes too. Which one is it? I'm not sure which channel. Because they've been taking Plebes off of everything. I have the Plebes movie on a zip drive. So we watch that on occasion. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'll hop off of here. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Just kind of a little impromptu stream, but I just missed you all and wanted to say hello. So you guys take care of yourselves. And I will be back next week, probably on a live and on a live, not on a live. Just make sure we're clear on that. Yeah. I appreciate you guys. Keep an eye out for some videos. And if you're not already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I will see you all next week. So, all right, Jackie out.